Good morning, everyone. So, today we are tackling something that I've been meaning to do for a while. So I've had 2 bags of frozen strawberries in the freezer for about a year now, and I've been meaning to can it, both bags, and today I'm actually going to do that. Now, today is a little different because I'm actually using a food meal that I've never actually used before, like ever. So we will see how this goes. So I'm just assembling the food meal according to the box because, like I said, I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, so it says to assemble the milling disc with the dome-shaped surface facing handle. Okay, so it goes up this way. Okay, and then you assemble so it says you do that, but then it says to lock it. Firmly push down on the locking bar and rotate until it lines up with the locking tabs. Slowly releasing the bar correctly connected to the locking tabs. Okay. So push down. It looks like it don't connect to both of them and it only locks on one side. So I'm not sure how that's gonna work, but like it really looks too small for this. I just had it locked a second ago and then I unlocked it. Okay, got it. Got it. Okay. So they needed to go on the other side, the other way around. It's okay. I was locking it backwards. It's fine. Okay, so then you place the food meal over a bowl, and the food meal has to be set to where the hips hang out. Turn the handle blades clockwise over the milling disc of the food. Okay. So we got our milling bowl. I'm just using my top for this. I already have everything laid out. See the 2 bags of strawberries here. So I've got everything laid out. My canning jars are already in my canning or my water bath canner, warming up while I'm doing this whole process. And since frozen strawberries have water in them, I'm not going to add any extra water to this recipe, even though it calls for it. So we'll see how this goes. Okay, so it asks for 8 cups of strawberries. I'm not exactly sure how many I have, so man, that smells good. Okay, I'm assuming you just add. Okay, so we'll just add it in. I think I'm just going to add a little in at a time. Might help, if they don't get stuck on top of it, but as you can tell, I don't have the perfect bowl for this, but I'm literally just using what I've got, doing what I can. told you, but we are making low sugar strawberry jam today. Because I don't know about you, but I hate it when the strawberry jam is like so coated in sugar. Like that's all you taste. You don't really taste the flavor of the strawberries. You just taste the sugar. That's always bothered me. And I never thought I would like low sugar anything. But last year, when I made this the first time, I didn't have this food mill. I just had to crush them by hand and hope for the best, really. But last year, when I made the strawberry jam for our moms for Mother's Day as a little surprise, Eva gave some to my mama who loves sugar, and she loved my strawberry jam. So it made me feel a little bit better about it, knowing that my mama who, oh, that's good. Although it looks more like puree than anything, but that's okay. It might be like jelly, but it's okay. But knowing that my mama loved it made it really, I really felt so much better about it after that. And of course, I loved it. My mother-in-law loved it, so did my mom. Which I made it low sugar because of my mom. She has, I don't know if it's diabetes per se, but I know she is on diabetes medication and has been classified years ago as pre-diabetic, so I'm not sure if that ever changed. She hasn't told me, but I know she has a problem with sugar. So I didn't want to make something that my mom couldn't really eat. So low sugar strawberry jam it was. And last year, I don't even know if some of these might be from that. But last year, Wes and I went to a strawberry farm where we were able to pick our own strawberries. And that was wonderful. Because then you really know what you're getting. You know what you're bringing home. You know the sizes of them. You know what shape they're in. Instead of just a guessing game at the grocery store. So that was absolutely wonderful to be able to get to do. I'm not sure we'll be able to do that again this year. I would like to. But it might not be on the cards for us. We did it last year for our 6-month wedding anniversary. Yes, we wanted to celebrate making it 6 months married to each other. So that's what we did. We went out of town. I think it was just an overnight trip. And we stayed at this cute little Airbnb down in North Carolina. And it was just wonderful. We took a train ride on the first day. The next day we went to the strawberry farm, and it was wonderful, and it was so very nice to just get away, you know? Sometimes that's all you need. You just need to get away. We took a weekend trip, and it was so much needed. So this is doing really good. It is actually pureeing the strawberries, which is so much helpful. So like last year, it was just doing it by hand. And it was very hard to do by hand. There are some chunks in here that I might try to get out and just use, because I don't like having any waste. I don't like wasting this, and these are good strawberries, so I don't want to really waste them. I don't know if maybe I'm just putting too much in it, but we already got a pretty good size amount in this bowl. I'm going to try to get this bag finished, and then we'll, oh no, I spilled some on my cooktop. It's okay, it happens. We're going to try to get this bag milled, emptied into my stock pot, and then we'll get the second bag and get to canning, or to processing. Now I've noticed since living in, or moving to this bigger house, that I picked up a really bad habit at my old house. Using my stove like it's a countertop. Because it's just, oh, now I know why it's dripping on the countertop. It's coming down the side of the bowl. Yeah, I just did not realize I was still doing that until just now. I think that bag was leaking just a little bit, but it's okay. Okay, let's try it now. Because our old house was much, much smaller than this one. It was less than 900 square feet. And kind of hard to do anything when you only have like less than 1,000 square feet. The kitchen was very, very small. So there wasn't much countertop space in the kitchen to begin with. So I made it work. Okay, so I'm just gonna let this drip a little bit. I'm gonna let it drip here. It'd be easier if I could just use this canning pot as the bowl. Told myself I was not going to make a giant mess today. And you know what? I've already made a big mess. And I've just got started. Okay. It's alright. Just gonna I don't know why that one is just not. I might have to crush a few of these by hand because some of these are just not. Not going down like they should be. I wonder if you could just dump, yeah, I'm just going to dump that in here. I will still crush those. Yeah, I think both of these were leaking. Okay, interesting. They're freezer bags that we bought from IKEA a few years ago. And I didn't realize they were leaking until I looked down and I see strawberry juice everywhere. Out of bags that I hadn't really opened a lot. Bags that I had. not gonna lie, this is actually taking a lot longer than I thought it would. But and believe it or not, I actually threw my husband's shirt on to do this so that I didn't get my tank top dirty or my shirt dirty. I just threw on his shirt real quick because it was easier to throw on his shirt than it was to go dig out one of mine. I don't know. It worked better that way for me. Look at this and you're like, I ain't doing anything, and then you look down and it's already like a quarter way full of like juice and the strawberries, and so we are getting somewhere. So I wish it locked better onto the bowl than it does. I feel like it's sliding all over the place. It's not, it just feels like it is. Okay, and I've already got stuff on my stove once again. I don't know how I keep doing that, but that's okay. So I am waiting until I get all of this milled and crushed before I start cooking it all together, because then it'll be unevenly cooked, and you want it to be consistent all the way through. So that's what we're doing. We're trying to make sure it's fully consistent all the way through. So it definitely has a hole in it somewhere. That's shocking. Anyway, so this is really helpful. It's doing so much better than just mashing it by hand. So funny. When I got this for Christmas, I was like, oh yes, a food meal, just what I wanted. Wes is like, what in the world is that for? And because I got it from my sister-in-law for Christmas, because I asked for things for a new home for Christmas. I was like, it's okay, I'll use it. It's for canning. You're like, you asked for something just for canning? I'm like, I needed it. So yes I did. I asked for canning supplies and house stuff for Christmas. Sometimes as adults, I think we all like to think we're big kids sometimes, but then we get excited over getting canning supplies or cooking supplies or household stuff and for Christmas or as gifts. Like, oh, you brought me this. This is so cool. I'm so excited. I can't wait to use it. Like, we've officially crossed into adulthood. Like, there ain't no turning back now. You've officially crossed into adulthood. When you get excited over getting household items or stuff like that for Christmas, you've officially reached that point. It's probably too much to put in it at once, but let me get this leaky rag off my stove, or off my countertop here. And we'll just know what we can and what we don't. We'll just pour into the bottom and we'll crush it all together. Because like I said, I did this last year and I didn't have a meal, so I just mushed it by hand. I still had chunks in it. There were still chunks, but it smelled so good and it tasted so good, even with a few chunks of strawberry just kind of chilling out in there. So just gonna do a little bit more milling, and then I'm just gonna pour it all in, and we're gonna mash it together. And then everything goes in my stock pot. And then I believe is when we start. Okay, since they were frozen, I'm not adding any water to it. I'm just gonna add the strawberries and lemon juice together. And then I will stir in the pectin and heat it over high heat until it becomes one rolling boil that you cannot stir down. Very consistent. Okay, so we got all kinds of like chunks in here, all kinds of big chunks. But we're just gonna dump that in here. Woo! That was not supposed to come out. It's okay. It's really just a meat masher, but it will work just fine. Didn't really want to stick my hands in here, but good thing they're really clean. And try to get some chunks off of this. This is where it was milling them, or dicing them, cutting them. I'm not really sure what it does, to tell you the truth. The strawberries still feel a little frozen, even though I thawed them. Like, I even soaked them in hot water. Like, the bags, I soaked them in hot water several times. I started this process at 8 something, and it's already 10:30, if that tells you anything. Okay. I will clean that later. Now, I just need to mash chunks and get them a little more well taken care of. which they do mash a little bit better once they're being cooked. They do kind of mix a little bit better, get smaller. I could use my immersion blender, and I do have one now, but I don't feel like digging it out and cleaning it as well. Because it's just a process. And I don't want to spend all day standing in my kitchen. Okay. So, I'm getting these mashed. And while we're mashing, I'm reading the recipe. It looks like I need just 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. 1 tablespoon of lemon juice, 1 cup of sugar, and low sugar pectin. And it just takes 1 packet of pectin. It's got down to tablespoons, but that's 1 packet. Yeah. Because it says 6 tablespoons of pectin. I just use a packet. It's fine. Like I said, it came out fine last year. I made it twice. Ended up getting 8 pints, 8 half pints out of all of it. Both times I made it. And everyone, like I said, loved it. Everyone was loving it, so. Okay. Yeah, this is a great way to take some frustrations out. Just beat it out of your system. But this is where I'm going to stop. Even if there's a few chunks left, like I said, it tasted really good last year when there was chunks in it. There just won't be as many chunks this year as there was last year. So now we're just going to pour this into our stock pot, and it says to cook it at high heat. Place strawberries, water, and lemon juice in a large stock pot. Stir and pectin. Heat the mixture over high heat until it comes to a rolling boil. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that started heating up. Yeah, I already see a chunk I missed. So lemon juice. Okay, yeah. So everything is added but the sugar. The sugar is added after it starts boiling, the rolling boil. Then it says to add the sugar and then return it to a rolling boil, and then you boil it for a minute while stirring, and then you remove it from the heat. And that's when you start processing it into the cans or into the jars. Okay, 1 tablespoon lemon juice. Tablespoon lemon juice. Place strawberries, water, and then you stir and pectin. Okay. Don't have a really good spoon for this. So I'm just going to use this one. I am a little nervous about this because I've never actually done this at this new house before. So I am a little nervous, but I think it'll be okay. It's always so clumpy. I don't know why, but. Okay, got our pectin in. So we're just going to stir this. Stir pectin. And heat the mixture over high heat until it comes to a rolling boil that cannot be stirred down. Keep stirring to prevent the bottom from burning, so I have to constantly stir. And the pectin's sticking to the spoon. Not what you need to do. Not what you need to do here, buddy. Anybody do that? Did you just end up talking to the stuff that you're making? I sometimes do. Sometimes I just feel like it helps. I know that's weird, but sometimes it just feels like it helps a little bit. Especially if you're having a bad day or something, you just need to talk to it and just talk it out. Okay. It does keep sticking to the spoon. So I'm just using my finger, even my finger's clean. I'm just going to continuously use this other spoon and get this out. Man, you should smell my kitchen right now, y'all. It smells so good. Hello. Let me see. Let me turn you around and show you what we're looking at. So this is what it looks like. And we're just going to stir this until it comes to a boil that we cannot stir down. That was pectin. The white chunks are just huge chunks of pectin that I haven't gotten mixed in for some reason. There's a few strawberry chunks in here, but that should be fun. It smells so good in this kitchen right now. So we're just going to sit you back down here and continue stirring our pectin. Stirring our pectin into our sugar, or our strawberry jam. The reason I'm a little worried about doing this on this cooktop in our oven, our new kitchen, is because it's a glass cooktop, I believe, and I read that you don't want to put too much weight in your pots and stuff when you go to cook and stuff with it. So I am a little concerned with my cooktop. Just found a whole strawberry that never got mashed somehow. Like a whole strawberry. Okay, it was quartered because I cut up my strawberries before I froze them. But yeah, this is the first time I have done this with anything but fresh strawberries. Although I did have these fresh. These were fresh strawberries that we picked last year, or that I just bought in the store and just saved some out of the containers because my husband don't like strawberries. I don't know why. He just doesn't like them, so I'm really just the only one that eats them. And so I buy big containers. And gosh, I can't eat all this, so I just freeze what I can't eat, what I know will be like too much. So kind of helps when you're jamming or canning with making jam with them. Y'all, I just can't talk today. I don't know what's going on. We're not bowling yet. Neither is the water jars. But it's hot. It's really hot. It's not boiling yet though, so I'm not sure why it's not boiling. But I don't think they really need to boil. They just need to be really hot. This, on the other hand, has to. Okay, so here's what it says. It says, so we start until it becomes a rolling bowl that we can't start down. Then we add in just 1 cup of sugar. That's all it takes, 1 cup. Now, if you make it, if you make regular loaded in sugar strawberry jam, I think it takes like 8 cups of sugar. It's either 4 to 8 cups of sugar, and you have to have like 8 cups of strawberries. So it's like a cup of sugar per strawberry, or per cup of strawberries. To me, that sounds a little excessive. That just sounds like a lot of sugar. So I just don't like making jam with, I just don't like making jam with all that sugar in them. Because to me, it's just, you're just eating sugar. Like if I wanted to eat sugar, I just get a cup or spoonful of sugar. Not what I want. I want to taste the strawberry. I want to taste the deliciousness of the fruit instead. So that's just how I do it. Okay, so when this becomes a bowl that I can't stir down, I'll add in 1 cup of sugar and continue to stir that when it returns to a rolling boil. And then that continues for 1 whole minute. And then I remove it from the heat. And since we're canning it, we'll have to place them in jars. And then can it for 10 minutes. That's it. It really just takes 10 minutes. So this is the process. This takes the longest. And we are just water bath canning this. Which I need to get me a good like electric pressure canner. But first of all, pressure canning terrifies me. Because that's how you can can like non-acidic stuff. Like green beans and stuff like that. Or potatoes. Yes, you can can potatoes. Like you can really can anything if you just try to. We're not there yet. We're getting there though. I can definitely tell it's trying to boil. But anyway, so we just canned them, leaving a 1/4 inch headspace. And place them back in here, 10 whole minutes. And then I add an additional 5 minutes after I turn the heat off, so it slowly cools down, so that way you're not shocking the jars and everything. So I'll slowly let it cool, and then we'll remove them from our canner and add it to, or just set them out somewhere, which I really don't have a good place to set them out yet. I haven't cleared a space for them. I'll do that after this is done. After we've got them in and it's, it's processing. So a couple of weeks ago we had Okay. I don't know why my camera is moving around a little bit, but not sure how this happened on my arm, but it's okay. It's okay. It is what it is. You also never want the jars to get too cool while you're filling them up like this either. Because then you could bust the jars and then nothing works, and then you just have an extra nightmare on your hands. But look how pretty this looks. Is that not beautiful? I just hope everything processes perfectly, everything pops and seals and okay, so I think we have a little more than we bargained for. So I'm not sure what we gonna do because this is my last plain jar. Okay, so looks like I am obviously going to have to wash more jars. So I'm gonna try to do that real quick. It's easier when you have, a little help when you're doing this process because it takes so much time. It takes so much effort. But sometimes you just gotta do what you can. I do have a few jars that are clean over there. So I'm gonna try to get those out. One's a quart. I don't know if I'll need a quart jar. But problem is, I don't think it's all gonna fit in my little canner. And those jars are not hot at all. So let's put this in here. Just hope the water covers this completely like it's supposed to. Oh yeah. Hey Google, set a timer for 10 minutes. Okay.
I started a timer for 10 minutes.
I have a lot more here than I wanted left, so I am going to use this quart jar. you always want to use fresh, new rims, like lids, every time you can. So I have to go in here and get me a couple more lids. I'm just gonna grab a box. Thankfully, I already had this pre-planned. So, since I have so much left, I'm gonna just do 1 quart, wash it up in super hot water, and it looks like we'll just be eating a lot of strawberry jam the next couple of days. Ooh, sorry, my camera decided it was going to go for a fall. So my camera fell. Oops. And today is my birthday, which is why you keep hearing my watch going off. Because everybody's telling me happy birthday, and this is not the way to do this. I'm just doing this. Just get it all. I don't know if I'm going to process this one. I might just stick it in the fridge. Because you can do that. You can just make it and just put it in jars and stick it in the fridge, but I mean, it only lasts for so long, and if you don't eat it a lot, it kind of doesn't do you any good if that's what you're gonna do. But I probably will eat it because I absolutely love strawberries. I love strawberry jam. Okay, so I got all this taken care of. Let's go back over here. That's why. Okay, that was weird. Okay, so we have 7 minutes left to get this one taken care of before everything else is ready to come out of the canner. Since I'm not canning this jar, in a way I kind of wish I had room and could have canned with this jar, but it's just, there's just so much left. That's why I'm just using this jar. I need to wash another jar. Dang it. There's just so much in this. And like I told you guys, I did not add any extra water. I did not add any extra water. It kind of does make me want to see if I can can this one. But I'm not sure I can it. So, let's see. I have 2 more half pints. So I'm going to wash 2 more half pints, and hopefully that'll be enough. So this is the first time this has happened to me while I've been canning. So like I said, I didn't measure how many strawberries I had. I just needed to use what I had. Honestly, part of me was afraid I didn't have enough. But it looks like I had hope everything that's in the canner actually seals and that I don't have to worry about having any extra in the fridge. But I'm already going to have with what's left over right now. But this is crazy. I've never had this happen before. Never. But I've only been canning for a couple of years. Well, this year we'll make 2. I haven't canned that much. I did a lot of pickles and a lot of apples last year. I canned a ton of that. And I did follow the recipe except for measuring how many strawberries that I had and adding water. Sometimes that does cause differences because canning is like a science experiment. Everything has to be exact. I think this will be enough. Really, really do. Yeah, there ain't no way I can actually can this stuff now because it's cooled too much and the jars are not hot enough to be placed in the canner. Crap. Guess who just overfilled her jar? Yep. Oh my goodness, y'all. I thought that would have been fun, but I guess I gotta put a little bit in put a little bit more in this one. Okay. Everything is literally filled to the brims. So I'm just gonna wash one of these cute little ones out and put everything else in this one. Stop. Hey Google, set a timer for 5 minutes.
Okay, I've started a timer for 5 minutes.
Okay, so you just heard my timer went off for what was in the canner. Well, I've been trying to deal with this. So my timer just went off. And now, all we do is we reduce heat. So I turn the heat off completely. So you reduce heat and leave it sitting for a good 5 minutes. That's roughly enough time for it to cool and be able to remove the lid on the canner and then get them out. Like I said, y'all, this has never happened where I've had to scramble to wash more jars and more lids. I've never had this. So, now, while that's cooling, I'm going to try to do a little cleanup because this is a disaster zone. Like, it's bad. And I still haven't got all the strawberry off my arm. I really hope I did not burn myself very bad. This will have to go to the wash, so I needed to rinse it off in here first. This is crazy. Absolutely crazy. To think that this is happening now when I've never had this problem before. And the only difference is I was filming this video for you guys. There it is. Let me get this wet. Now I have to really clean my cooktop after this. Okay. That's nothing better. Nothing's on that. I'm just gonna put that there. Even got some in the floor, y'all. Hope I didn't step on anything. I don't want to spread that throughout my home. Okay. So, I still need these to lift that out. Put this back in the fridge. And I really have no idea what on earth I'm going to do with these 4 jars that did not make it into the gainer. Stop. Okay, now's the fun part. Now we remove the lid, lift our jars. So I got some stuff on my phone. Now, I'm gonna move you guys a little bit over. One's already sealed. Did you guys hear that? That hot mint one has already sealed. That's wonderful. wish I knew which one it was. Okay, that was weird. Try to just use these instead of using all my trivets, because when I cook using my oven, kind of need my trivets. Okay, so just gonna get them out of the canner, try to get some water off of them, and just set them down here. So I didn't want to use my trivet, and I go and use my new trivets. Okay. It is foamy, and mine are always foamy. I'm not sure why they're so foamy, but I'm not sure. Ooh, there's another one. There's another one. Oh my goodness. And another. And another. I really hope they all seal like that. Okay, I am going to have to use this one. And there goes another one. Okay. I am going to try to get those because they're still a little hot. Looks like we might have to add more water. Hey Google, set a timer for 10 minutes.
Okay, I started a timer for 10 minutes.
Okay guys, so I did put those other 4 back in my canner in hopes that they'll actually seal. I'm not sure if they will, fingers crossed that they do. But we did get 6 half pints, 4 quarter pints, and a lot of them have already popped to seal as I was getting them out of the canner and setting them over here. So I'm hoping the rest of them do. Otherwise, we'll have to reprocess, and I really don't want that. Or we'll just have to stick it in the fridge. So I'm hoping that they just seal like they're supposed to. And set. Okay. Now to finish cleaning up our our mess. I don't know what that was. None of them really were budging when I touched them there, but I wasn't really pushing too hard. So it could just mean that they're just super duper hot and I don't want to burn my teeny tiny fingers. But while that's processing, I'm going to go ahead and turn the oven on because I need to make me something for lunch. And instead of making an actual nice meal, I'm just gonna make me some corn dogs in the oven. That works. And just call it done. That sounds lazy, I know, but that's okay. It's fun. I do at least have 2 trivets I can use for my pan. Need to wash get the water out of it. So my little meal is covered in strawberry. Literally covered. Like my whole sink looks like strawberry just took over. So instead of waiting until we're just trying to load this in the dishwasher, I'm just gonna wash this by hand. You know, so have a few minutes. I'm already here. I'm already in the kitchen. This is the most that I have done in the kitchen since we got pregnant. Yeah. Oh, that's alright. We're pregnant. Tomorrow I am 19 weeks along, meaning that we're almost halfway through the pregnancy, and that it's almost time to find out the gender. So a lot of people do the early genetic testing and find out the gender that way, and we talked about, you know, finding out the gender early, but insurance doesn't cover that test, and it can range anywhere from $100 to like $3,000. So I'm like, no, we'll just wait until our anatomy scan and find out then. So that's what we're doing. So I had Googled ways to do like gender reveals and stuff, and one that I really liked was the cake, where you just put it on a cake, or have the bakery bake the gender into the cake and you cut into it and you find out that way. So that is what we are going to do. So when we go to our appointment, we're going to have them write it down on an envelope, and we're going to take that envelope to one of our local grocery stores. I'm not sure which one. I have to make a few phone calls when I get all this done. I have lunch. We're going to take that to our local bakery, or grocery store that has a bakery. There's not really any bakeries in our area, which is ridiculous. So we're going to do that, and then find out the gender, just me and Wes, in a private little moment, instead of in front of everybody and the family. And it's just, I wanted one more private moment shared between us in regards to our baby before you know, the craziness happens. Because yes, craziness happens. I've had sisters who have had babies. His sister has had a baby. So there's a lot that goes into preparing for a baby, and I know that. So we want one more private moment before everyone gets even more involved than they already are. That's what we're gonna do. And I love the idea, and I mentioned it to Wes, and he loved that as well. He loved the whole making it like a small little moment shared between just us. And I think that's all it really needs to be. Like, you don't have to be some big to-do. You don't have to spend a ton of money on a gender reveal. Is it fun? Okay, sure. But is it necessary? Not really. And like I said, we had discussed it. We had discussed, going big and having balloons and a big cake and a keeper of the ginger who gets everything ordered and all that stuff. One, no one in our family can really keep a secret, okay? Two, we have family in Ohio that probably wouldn't be able to make it in, so we'd have to tell them over the phone or video them or anything. And three, he didn't want to be messed in our backyard. Smoke bombs leave a mess. Those little firework thingies that you point at each other, they leave a mess. No matter what we did, or what we came up with, or what we talked about, the best option for us was just what we're doing, the private cake moment. So, and I think that's all that we need. We're not big party people anyways. We're not big on all that stuff. I mean, shoot, when his sister got pregnant, they did one of those early testing and they found out instantly. They found out in the first 6 weeks that they were having a little girl. And my sister, when she got pregnant, when she got pregnant, she didn't want to wait and find out a gender, even though she wanted to do a gender reveal for the family. She had to tell her at the appointment what she was having. And then she did like silly string, and we all went to the park, we did a little picnic, and that's all she told us. But she didn't really give us a warning that what. She actually told me in secret, so I knew what they were having. So I knew I was having a little niece. That was my first niece. She didn't do a gender reveal for the second one. It was just, I don't even remember how she told us with the second one, to tell you the truth. But yeah, it don't have to be some big expensive party or to do. It's just a little intimate moment that we share after. It's just fun for me. He would love to be able to have the whole family over since we bought this massive house for it. But I'm like, can we just do that for the baby shower? Can we just have the baby shower here if you want? Like, I just want one special moment. Stop. Okay. Hey Google, set a timer for 5 minutes.
Okay, I started the timer for 5 minutes.
Okay, I don't know if you can hear that over the sink water or washing dishes, but the timer went off for what's in the camera. So I'm really hoping that they sealed, or at least most of them sealed, and I don't have a ton of strawberry jam sitting in my fridge because it didn't seal. And I'm not gonna lie, I haven't been too impressed with the ball canning lid. A lot of people in this canning group that I'm in on Facebook have had problems with it. They've struggled with them. So I'm just hoping everything seals the way that they need to. And that these lids sealed properly. Because when I made pickles, which was the last canning product I did before we got pregnant and I got really sick, some of them didn't seal properly and I had to stick them in the fridge, and then But my husband being my husband did not let them even cool in the fridge. He ate them so fast. So like, okay, honey, I made pickles. Oh, pickles! And out of the fridge big thing. So thankfully he didn't let them go to waste. Although, when I got pregnant, like I said, I got really sick. I did have 2 jars of stuff that I had made that I did end up having to throw out because they went bad in the fridge. Because applesauce and strawberry jam just did not sound good to me throughout those couple of weeks when I was really sick. So I just wasn't having it. And like I said, Wes won't eat strawberry jam. He loves the applesauce, but he'll only eat it if I dig it out for him, and I didn't feel like smelling it. I didn't want to smell it. Like, the smell was making me sick. And I love it. So it just, unfortunately, they went bad. The applesauce jar even got thrown in the trash. It was that bad. So, it's like, oh, that's terrible. But it happens, you know? And I know that. And I get it. Not what I wanted to do, but part of life, you know? Things go bad, and you just gotta clean them up and move on. So, I got rid of it and moved on. So I got everything practically washed out by hand except for my spoon, my little spoon that I use to get the pectin off of my big spoon. That's just going to go down in the fridge, and my tablespoon in the fridge. And just, whew, y'all, I'm losing it. The dishwasher's going in the dishwasher. Now we're going to just wash our hands out. I don't think the strawberry jam burnt my arm, which is good. I did not want to have to deal with that today since it is my birthday. I don't know if tackling a big canning project on my birthday was a good idea or not, but it's too late to turn back now. Way too late to turn back now. And like I said, when this stovetop gets fully cool, I'll be able to actually, I don't know how I got stuff back there. I'll be able to actually clean it with the cleaner that we bought for it, and we'll be good as new. I just realized I need to lay out more stuff. I'm just going to use oven mitts. That should be fun, right? Stop! Okay. It's time. Okay, I don't know if that's good or not. Looks like my big jar tilted as it was processing. So, hope nothing broke. Let's see. Of course. Ooh, okay. Okay, not what was supposed to happen. Okay, so it looks like some did leak out of the big quart jar. So that might end up getting put in the fridge anyways. I'm not sure what happened there. I hope everything else seals though. I'm pretty sure everything else sealed. Like, I'm pretty sure everything else has sealed.